Hey guys, it's New Name and welcome back. If you aren't aware, I am a RuneScape 3 player primarily who started playing old school RuneScape, and I like to make videos on both games. Today is Thursday, which means that it is a old school RuneScape video. Every Thursday we do old school RuneScape videos, and every Monday we do a RS3 video, or at least they're centered around that game. Today, actually, I wanted to take a look at the differences between one of the most iconic cities in RuneScape, between Old School and RS3. So today, we will be comparing Varrock in Old School and RuneScape 3. Before we get into that though, make sure to give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe if you aren't. If you like to talk about both Old School RuneScape or RS3, feel free to join the Discord, which I will link in the description below. Okay, so I think the best way to start off is going to be a tour from the air. So we'll go ahead and do that. So if we start off, this is the castle. And then we'll head on over here. If you look over here, this is the chapel. And I'm bad at RuneScape, so I want to say that is the house where you buy your player-owned houses. And that over there is the most iconic bar. You have some clothing stores. You have the iconic Varrock Museum. Over here you have the Varrock East Bank. Of course, the slums. The rune crafting shop where you can teleport to the rune essence mine. In Old School RuneScape, if you look, you can see these feet on the roof. There is actually a rooftop agility course in Old School RuneScape. And then as we come over here, you have the fortune teller's hut. You have the apothecary shop, and of course the hideouts for the Shield of Erov quest. And of course you've got the West Bank, Romeo and Juliet's house. We also have the Cooking Guild, and then of course the Grand Exchange. Got the main circle, got games room, as well as the clan hub over here, and of course the fairy tree. So that is the aerial view of Old School RuneScape's Varrock. So now let's take an aerial view of RS3. Alright, so we will go ahead. This is starting off again the castle. As you can see, it looks quite a bit different. You can see the garden over here. On this account, I actually have the quest finished, so it's done. The buildings are recognizable. You have the chapel, the same buildings. This one looks a little different. The Varrock Museum still has its iconic look. The training hut is similar. The East Bank is similar. Then of course you have over here is the shop for the runecrafter, arbory, and then the slums as always. And we'll go ahead. The stockade in RS3, there is no agility course, so you can't see any rooftop agility. And then it looks the same greatly. They actually got rid of the sawmill, so this is the area where you do Gertrude's cat now. And then you have the Varrock East Bank, or West Bank over here. The house for Romeo and Juliet no longer belongs to them. They have both been removed from the game. The Cooking Guild is over here as well still. Looks about the same. And then, of course, being RuneScape 3, we have the Well of Goodwill, the Solomon store, where you can buy and sell MTX. This over here is actually the Clue Scroll rewards area. And then our version of the Grand Exchange. We do have a teleport as well. This is to the VIP area, where if you buy the VIP package, you get extra things in free. We have fountains as always, and then the spirit tree. But that is the aerial view of Varrock from both games. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the shops. I'm going to try and do this side by side, so forgive me if this looks a little bit weird, but I want you guys to be able to see them next to each other. We're going to start with the armor shop. As you can see, the armor shop in RS3 has way more stuff than the armor shop in Old School does. Now, I do think part of this is, of course, because you can make way past this in gear in RuneScape 3 with the smithing skill. So This gear is really early game gear still. Of course, this is also early game gear in the shop for old school RuneScape. And then also a lot of the times you buy from the shops in RS3 to disassemble. So these are the differences in the armor shop. Okay, and then now we're going to go across the road and take a look at the range shop. So you can see they are the same. Go ahead, trade. And again, there's just way more stuff in the RS3 armor shop. Again, though, this is all really considered really early game gear, and it's basically not even all the free-to-play gear, because you can get Blue Dragon Hide free-to-play now, if I remember right, on RS3. So you can't buy any ranged armor from the shop, which is interesting, but you can get ranged armor from the armor shop. So that is actually very interesting to me. So there you go. There is those two, the range shop. Okay, so now we're over here at the rune crafting shop. As you can see, the shop in old school RuneScape is actually far better than the one in RS3. For example, you can get rune packs in old school, which you can't get in RS3. So on an Iron Man, old school is definitely far better to have an Iron Man in rune shop than it is on RS3. You have to visit the shop every day as well. So these runes do not fill throughout the day. They fill up every 24 hours. And then I did want to show, because I think this is a big important change. If you look, you can actually see side by side that the bars are slightly different in RS3. There's just a little bit more decorations, as there's a couple quests that come out of here. So there you go. There's a little bit different stuff here. And we're going to go over here and check out the sword shop next. Okay, and you'll have to forgive me because I have done Monkey Madness on my main on RS3, but not on old school RuneScape. So I do have the Monkey Sword Seller here. Actually, ironically, the sword shop is probably the thing that's closest to being the same. The only difference is there's a little bit more quantity in RS3. But again, because our shops don't reset throughout the day and it's every 24 hours, it just makes a little more sense to have stuff in the shop, especially on an Iron Man. You just buy this to disassemble it with the invention skill. So there you go. There is our sword shop. So awesome. Okay, and then no trip to Varrock would be complete without a stop to the general store. Let's go ahead, do a shop, check out what the store has. So, basically, it's the exact same thing. You ask me, they're the exact same. Again, though, old school RuneScape does have packs for these items where you can buy them in bulk. You can get bucket packs other places in RS3, just not at the general store. And then across the street at Thessia's Fine Clothing, it's about the same. Again, slightly more quantities. But she also sells the leather gear, and yeah, other than that, it's basically the exact same. You do have the costume shop over here, where you can buy the random event stuff, because you can't get random events at all in old school or in RS3. So you can't get tokens to get them, but you can just buy them for your fashionscape needs. And then finally, over here, you have the staff shop. So in RS3, instead of buying from the barrel, you can buy from Nath, and he sells from the barrel. So yeah, over here you have to buy them from the barrel. In RS3, it's from a person. But then if we check out Zaf and what he has to sell, he just sells basic staffs in old school RuneScape. He sells basic staffs in RuneScape 3, but just like all the other stores, he does sell early game magic gear. So this is only to level 30. Really fairly weak entry level gear, free to play gear, of course, and you can actually get stuff to make split bark gear. So there you go. And then just a little slight difference over here in the anvil area. We have our anvils, we have the forge because you need something to heat metal with in RS3, and then the inventor's workbench. But other than that, it's the exact same building. Even have the same crates with the same logo on them if you look. And finally, no trip to Varrock would be complete without a tour of the sewers. So if you look over here in old school RuneScape, you have the rat boss, which is a early game boss, which is cool because RS3 we only have the giant mole really. And then of course this is what the rest of the sewers looks like. Try and go slower for you guys. And then over here you have the moss giant area, which is pretty expanded in old school RuneScape. There's more moss giants, less red spiders, which is cool. And then of course you do have the entrance to the moss giant boss lair. So this is what the Varrock swamps look like, or sewers, sorry, look like in old school RuneScape. And this is what they look like in RS3. So you can see things have been changed a little bit, or quite a bit. You've still got really the same mobs, so there's no difference here. We don't have the rat boss, so there is nothing over here for us of too big of a note. And then we do have, if you look, of course, same areas, the same parts. And then you come over here, this is our moss giant area. It's much smaller, but we do have a dungeon that you can go into for dungeoneering to get more moss giants. That is here, right there. But anyways, that is the moss giant and sewer in old school RuneScape and RS3. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Did you like the differences? Do you absolutely hate what RS3 has done to Varrock? Do you think some of it is a little bit cool? I'm sure everyone has an opinion. Thanks as always for watching. You guys are what makes this possible. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to give the video a like, subscribe if you aren't, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.